As it turns out, not all equations can be factored. In this section, we'll introduce a new way that we can solve quadratic equations called completing the square. Completing the square is also useful for converting a quadratic function from its regular form into its vertex form, which will allow us to pick up more information about the graph of quadratic functions. To complete the square, we'll be showing how to do this by example. Let's go ahead and solve the following quadratic equation by completing the square. The equation we'll be looking at will be x squared minus 6x is equal to 13. The first step we want to do to complete the square is to make sure the constant term is on the right-hand side. And in this case, we have already that our constant term is in fact on the right-hand side, so there's nothing to do. The second step, what we want to do, is that we want to take negative b divided by 2a and square it. In this case, our b is a negative 6, and our a is just 1, so this is going to be equal to 6 divided by 2 times 1 raised to the second power, which is the same thing as 3 raised to the second, which is 9. Now, in step 3, add our term negative b divided by 2a squared to both sides. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll have an x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to 13 plus 9. On the left-hand side, we can factor this now. This becomes a x minus 3 times an x minus 3 is equal to 22. The left-hand side now simplifies to be x minus 3 squared is equal to 22. Then, in step 4, we just solve the quadratic equation. Taking the square root of both sides, we'll end up with an x minus 3 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 22, which means x is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 22. Let me go ahead and note that the method of completing the square was done in steps 1 to 3.